Brooke, I won't stand for it.
What won't you stand for, girl?
I will not stand for this professional-ass sexual look you brought us tonight on the dish. Meanwhile, I'm over here looking like I just said, fuck you, mom and dad. Get out of my room. 13 going on 30.
Oh,
Bitch.
you are serving us Claire's Boutique.
Yes,
you are serving us Spencer's Gifts.
I'm the new hot topic, like scribbling embarrassing poetry in my composition book. That's me tonight.
Girl, but is there an anagram on the front of that composition book? Because if there's not, I don't want it.
It's just all of the abstract shapes that I've outlined on the cover.
In whiteout pen?
Yeah. And they're just all dicks. All of them.
They're just different dicks.
They're just all dicks.
I want to, like, put some wallpaper in the bathroom that, like, takes you a minute, but when you look, it's intertwined dicks. You know what I mean? Like, what I want people to be like, are those worms or earthworms? Like, I want it to be something else. Kind of like the birdcage, like, oh, there's girls on mine. Like, 2 naked boys playing leapfrog.
Yeah. You're like, what is this? Is this a Dolly? Is this a Max Ernst? Some surrealism? And you're like, it's dicks.
It's dicks. Welcome to the guest tab.
2022. It's dicks.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, girl. Happy Cover Dish Year 2. We are now
Oh my God. Can you believe it?
Could Stu
we
believe
have
it?
zero fans, 0 followers. If you're one of the 5 people that still made it to year 2, good for you.
Yeah.
Please feel free to message us. We'd love to hear from you. Topics you're interested in, merch you would be interested in winning. We want to hear from you. Obviously, we gave away some oopsie koopsie mugs. Big learning curve on that. Difficult to ship. So we're looking at more approachable merch for y'all.
Yes.
That is more friendly to the U.S. Postal Service. But please let us know what you want. Or you could just have Eileen send you a Vienna sausage Jello salad, which I think would also be the way to do it.
I do love pre-prepared sausages. And if you want some covered dish tunes, our new album drops tomorrow. Started at the bottom and we're still here.
We're still at the bottom, but it's colder.
Yeah. Number 1 on iTunes.
Number 1 on iTunes, still at the bottom. Girl, how are you alive? It's like 2 degrees in Ohio. I'm feeling for you.
It's miserable. The scrape this morning, the like windshield scrape was unreal. You know when you got to make multiple passes at it and you just can't chip through it? And meanwhile,
the way I triumphantly threw out my ice scraper when I moved down here was nothing short of a miracle. I should have donated it to someone in need, but I just needed to let it go.
Boo, you
yeah,
whore.
You know, here's the thing about the scrapers. They're trash. They're trash because they just make 2 lines.
Yeah. Ineffectual.
Let's see. Ineffectual at best. And mocking me at worst.
This is a mockery.
It is a mockery. I was supposed to fucking see through this and you're like this.
Yes.
Girl, I feel for you. So my dad is in Buffalo and it was negative, I think 9 with wind chill Saturday night.
Oh, misery business. It's supposed to... Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, and he was at the Bills game, so he was, like, outside. And I was like, how are you alive? Like, I don't understand how anyone's alive in that.
Yeah. Well, ours is supposed to melt tomorrow. It's getting back up to 40, and then it's dropping to, like, 24. It's going to be miserable.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, it's a balmy 58 here, so I'm in my sweater.
You know what I realized? This punk look I'm serving you is that a lot of angst and ennui comes from your environment. So I feel like the SAD, like the seasonal affective disorder, is really coming through with this outfit.
I love that. I love that you spelled out or you have the acronym for SAD, but I thought you were just gonna be like the SAD, like just period. Like it doesn't.
I caught a touch of the SAD. No.
I just caught a touch of the SAD. And now I'm in the tuberculosis ward.
No. The tuberculosis. That sounded a little bit like Kristen Wiig for a second there.
It did. Yeah, sometimes I slip into some wig. Like accidentally.
Tuberculosis. Like just super weird and like crab hands are happening. Like... Yeah.
Red flag. Okay, so let's dive deep, girl. We need to see your outfit.
Oh, well.
Diving deep. We need to see your outfit.
If you fucking insist. So I put a nice, like, you know, what do they call this? Sherpa? This, like, little Sherpa collar thing on it.
what they call it?
I don't know. It's like shearing or so. There's a word for this, but anyway, it's got like faux fur collar because it's fucking cold. But it's a black suede coat, so I feel very much like original goth bands.
What is this? Is that a bodysuit?
No, this is not a bodysuit. It is a it's a dress that's way too short, so I just put a leather skirt over it.
Oh my god!
But
love this.
It has all the major arcana on it. It's got all of the first 22 tarot cards, so on brand. So I'll just be like, if you want a reading, I'll just point to a part on my body. And yeah. But I got a nice little Brooke. I'm taking a page out of your book. I've got a nice mini skirt, a leather pencil skirt that is split up the thigh with lots of costume jewelry, all my rings, so that I can like distract and sleight of hand and like look over here, which is very important.
The like slick wetness of a leather skirt with some baubles is like my fucking love language.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, we are married, so I mean,
That's true. According to everyone at Home Depot, there's something going on.
There's something going on between us.
Who knows? I love it. I actually don't have a leather pencil skirt right now, which is actually a war crime.
How?
So I don't actually know.
Did you lend yours to somebody? All 10 of yours?
Did I lend my 10 of them?
Yeah, what happened?
So, Katrina Martin, shouts to Katrina, who
hey, girl,
the best, and is engaged to Andrew Healy, who's also the best in a different and special and unique way. Katrina gave me a leather skirt that's lovely and I love it, but I left it in Ohio because I was like, well, it's cold in Ohio. It's not cold down here. And now it's 58 and I could wear it and I'm mad.
Well, if you love something, let it go.
Girl, I'll drink to that.
Also, I love these Batman vibes you're serving us.
So I needed a mug.
So Butch. What happened?
I needed a mug. And I don't like white mugs. I just wasn't in the mood. I'm not cheery, you know what I mean? I'm still me. I'm just broody and,
You're going to be like, Eileen. Swear to me.
First of all, I always sound like that. Like
Oh, I'm so feminine. Girl.
It's just me. Do you like how I just keep trying to slip the engagement ring in? I'm just like.
So, girl, we have a reveal. When are we going to talk about it?
How do we do this? How do you do it like the Instagram influencer?
Oh, you have to cover your face. You have to cover your face so that the camera focuses on it. Yeah, there she is. Look at that sparkle. Oh my God. Tell us about the band. Tell us about the setting. Tell us about the halo.
So it has a halo underneath. So it's like a secret halo just for me.
Ooh, side setting.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's gold band with it's just absolutely gorgeous, and it's an emerald cut diamond.
Beautiful.
So it's very classic and very like vintage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Vintage and timeless. So very excited, but more excited about the person it's attached to. So that's more exciting. But I'm very excited, and very excited, girl, because I like fell in love with beer when I was in Jamaica. I like never drank beer. I drank like Red Stripe and all these beers. And I was like, oh my God, girl, wedding diet starts today because I'm like, why don't I drink beer more? None of my clothes fit by the end of vacation. In the best way. I would totally do it again. But I was like, girl.
Okay.
That's why I don't drink beer. That's why we stick to vodka and wine.
Well, let me cheers, girl. Cheers to you. Cheers to the ring, but to the engagement.
Cheers to that ring, bitch.
You know the game. Cheers. Love you so much, Queen.
I'm very excited. I wouldn't be here without
Congratulations. I feel exactly the same way. But for the grace of Brooke, go I.
I'm very excited. You know, Daddy. You know he's so excited. So we all good. Big Zaddy energy.
Gwen and Felicia are in the house. Hey, ladies. It's so nice to have you back. You survived.
Welcome. Happy New Year.
You survived. Here we are in 2022.
I love this. I love that you're just like so sad.
The bar is so low right now. I am listening to like Silent Hill 3 soundtracks, Heather Mason stomping on monsters, like Over the Garden Wall, scratchy grunge music. Like if it's grungy and reverberant, like give it to me. I can't get enough of it right now.
I love that. When I'm in a dark mood, I listen to like Jagged Little Pill. You know what I mean? Like I don't. For sure. Still, nothing has replaced that album for me.
No, I mean,
But yeah,
she's eternal, so why would you listen to anything else?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. I'm obsessed. So we're dishing tonight about anniversaries, girl. And oh my God, I was like, it's so funny because I have some pretty hilarious memories of anniversaries, but I really don't celebrate relationship anniversaries that much. Do you? What do you do for relationship anniversaries?
Well, I like things to be very girl, you're into surprises. So let's talk about the difference between you and me. I feel like you are into like big production surprises, like all day kind of things, and I just can't. I'm like, we need to set aside some time where all of that stuff is planned and we know it's happening. Like this, I can't do it. The surprise stuff.
So I think that's actually really interesting because I don't now. Like, I think as I've gotten older, I'm less committed to just take me away. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to know what time I'll be home. Like, I do think, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, in bed by 8:30, like wrap up with a good book and a cup of tea. If we're going to do something, so for me, the perfect anniversary, I want you to tell me what your perfect anniversary is, but I'll go first.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're like, I know. Mine is something that we do together normally, but that we're going to like provide a little bit more intention and focus and like make it our time without distractions. So I want to like binge a TV show or watch a movie or like play cards or something stupid. I mean, it's also pandemic, so we're not going out as much. A nice dinner, going to see a show would be nice, but it has to end with like lots of comfort and connection and probably sex. So that's me. That's
no, I totally get that. Well, I think that's actually, yeah, I like an anniversary with intentionality, any anniversary with intentionality. So yeah. I think for me, whatever it is, romantic or not, I don't think it necessarily has to be a different thing. It just has to be the way you move through it. So it's like if you go for sushi, maybe try a different place together and do a little research. Right. Because for me, time is our most finite resource. So it really means a lot if you're like, well, I put this time in to doing this like
Precious.
Like research to know where to go. You know?
Maybe if you go for putt-putt, maybe try drinking the blue water. You never know. Maybe it's good.
You never know. Could be delicious. Could be blue Kool-Aid.
Yeah. So I don't know why that was. Yeah, right. It could be a really embarrassing trip to the ER. I don't know why that was the first thing that popped into my head, but getting back to the serious point of what you just said, I think it's great to do something with a lot of the expected with this just a touch of adventure, right? Like you don't have to go tandem parasailing over, right? Like over the I was trying to think of somewhere really remote, like over Indonesia. You just have to do something where you're like, well, this is what we normally do. We know we enjoy it, but maybe let's try that appetizer we haven't had at the tapas place.
And also, let's talk about tandem parasailing, just super quick. Top 5 reasons to not take me tandem parasailing. All right, ready? Okay, we'll start with number 1. Not in any particular order. I have a fucking cabinet hinge for an elbow. I am not doing any extreme sport. I do. Like, I'm not doing it. 2, I'm terrified of sharks. And here's the problem. If you take me on a snorkeling adventure or whatever, we know the reef. We know where we're going. The thing about parasailing is you don't know where you're going to drop. You don't know where you're going to drop down, right? So you don't know. So don't tell me you know. You don't know. You can drop me in a pile of great whites.
Yeah.
Where are we? Do you know? You don't know. Number 3.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to test it, but that sounds like it might eke my like bizarre semi-normal fear, like not complete, but like fear of heights. And I don't have a complete fear of heights. Yeah. But like, no. 3rd, 4th, the harness is never going to fit over my fat ass. Ever. It doesn't matter. And people are like, Brooke, you're so fit. That's fucking great. And it's true. And it's awesome. But I don't have a normal sized bum and hip area. So then you're just like pigeonhole, just stuffed in there like a fucking honey baked ham. And then 5, they sell you photos. And because I'm always
that's the last thing I want.
Whenever I'm always with babes, by the way, always with babes, great taste, 10 out of 10, love it. I'm always with a babe who looks way better than me in like an action shot, and I am like a bulldog. I'm like, they're like, oh my God, do you want it framed? And they're like, yeah, I look like a babe. And I'm like, no. So
it's
no
like
tandem parasailing for me.
No. You can take me tandem parasailing if you load me up on Ativan. You know what I mean? Like maybe
You're just
then,
like,
yeah. This is great. I'm like, did we do it yet? You know, that would be great.
And you're just like in the water,
Yeah.
just surrounded by sharks.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I made some friends.
And the sharks aren't bothering you. But the sharks don't really come unless like you're moving around like a fish in distress. I know too much about sharks. Here's why. My mom, when I was a kid, I was afraid of sharks. So she's like, you know what? I'll help with her learn about sharks. Untrue. Did not help. Did not help. No. So now I'm like, do you know hammerheads, which is the third most dangerous shark, can be into less than 3 feet of water? That's not a good thing for an 8-year-old who's terrified of sharks to know. Couldn't even get a goddamn pool as a kid. Back to Anniversary.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. I'm still afraid of flying, and I thought learning about planes and how they work would help with that, which it was partly because of a traumatic flight that I had a few months ago. Roll the tapes, go find the past episode. We talked about it.
Yes, and that was a very traumatic episode. Like,
oh my
not
God.
episode. It was a traumatic episode for you.
Yes, because I had just gotten back, and I was like, and you were like, what happened? And I was like, I'm never flying again. We're not quite there anymore, but we're working through it slowly.
It was the most.
So yeah, girl, I mean, I do anniversaries, but they've never been that dramatic. They're always just kind of like dinner or like, you know, a movie or something small. I think we're much more into Christmas gift giving. That's our big gift giving of the year.
Yes.
But it is very much like, here's the thing I have about anniversaries. They're a lot of pressure because it's like they cause me to think about, oh my God, it's been another year with this person. You know, like as the years accumulate, it makes you think about the progression of time and what your relationship means, and do you still feel the same way, and do you still have the same expectations? And so it opens up a lot of like evaluation and introspection, and like that stuff can be scary and heavy. So like meanwhile,
and I think it's like
I'm trying to enjoy the pate, and all of these like doubts are flying in, and I'm just like, check please.
Girl, I feel that so deeply. And I feel like it's really good, like, but it's also about the time of year. So like my anniversary with Zaddy is like a week after my birthday. And like and like 5 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's between my birthday and Christmas, and I'm just like, no. Like I'm not I reject this premise. Like I don't you know, I can't I'm just like whatever.
This.
But you know what I actually really like? You know, because I am such a Scorpio and I love my birthday and I'm so annoying about it, that the anniversary has kind of become a time for me to do something for them because they just did all this for my birthday. And like, I kind of like, if it's possible, to be like, hey, we're gonna like kind of rotate. Like, or something. Or if it's like, hey, you know what I mean? Like the timing with you have everything going on with work, let me plan our anniversary, right? And even if it's a dinner at a new place or drinks in a new spot, it's not like, do you know what I mean? But I'm too old for this Hocking Hills all-day adventure bullshit. You know how I feel about Hocking Hills. Let's just get that out of the way. Can we have the Hocking Hills conversation? Does it need to be its own episode? I think it should be on this episode. I vote to be on this episode. It's controversial and it's not brave. I'm going to lose a lot of friends with this rant, but I am so sick of lesbians in Ohio trying to take me to Hocking Hills and make it a thing.
Okay, well, listen, I'm saying bitch a lot tonight. Let me just put in the disclaimer because it's a new year that I say bitch in a gender expansive term of endearment.
Love it.
And you may quote me on that, and if you have a problem with it, I'm sorry. So bitch, you should see me at Hocking Hills because, listen, I am like, I will not be scheduled. I will not be rushed. The only thing that I'm going to be doing at Hocking Hills, first of all, is glamping because I don't like to camp. I need electricity. I need running water. I need a hot tub. These are not nice
hot tub. Yes, the hot tub. Every hot tub has E. coli.
I mean, you know what? You know what? It doesn't for that weekend. It doesn't exist.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So
you cannot ruin it for me, Brooke. You can't tell me anything.
Here's the problem. I love a frugal Ohio lesbian. You know I love y'all. But you do this and you're like, we're saving money. And I'm like, here's the thing. You get the cabin for $250 a night. Then you gotta buy your damn groceries. Then you're cooking in a kitchenette with one random butter knife and 18 spoons. You're like on an episode of Kitchen Nightmares. There's never the right utensils. Like, And then, but like, you don't really, and I get it, you do save money. You do technically save money, but I'm like, or we could stay at a Hyatt with my points. Like, what are we really saving?
Girl.
Because I do like the kitchen idea.
Girl.
But like, every kitchen is like 14 sheet pans with holes in them.
Yes.
And like half a knife set, and you like pull out a knife and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, no, this is made of rubber. Like, you never know.
Girl, I've made the mistake so you don't have to. I swear to you, and this is a little bold of me, I have the recipe for the perfect Hocking Hills getaway experience. I have it. I've done the research, and the numbers add up. I should seriously. There's like a whole binder. First of all, you have to find a place that has a full kitchen, but you have to pack the stuff with you that you know you're going to use, especially if it is specialized.
You need like
Second
a knife.
Of all, like
a good knife.
Right. Second of all, it's not going to save money, so you have to let that go right there. It's actually going to cost probably more than a hotel. But that's the glamping experience. Like,
I always get a yeast infection from the goddamn hot tubs.
Yeah, I don't have that. I haven't cracked the code on that one, but I do. I just love hot tubs so much that they can't, like, I have no choice but to stand. You know what I mean?
I know. And I've had like one good Hocking Hills experience, but then everyone's like, well, we went hiking. I'm like, no, you went nature walking. And I love that for you. Like, we can chill out that they're lovely.
Not hikes. Yeah, they're lovely state parks. They're very short jaunts. And you know what? I don't want them to be longer than they are because I want to go out during the day and come back and sit in the hot tub at night. I seriously do the hot tub.
And be like, I earned it.
I do it every night. I can't help it. The other thing is bring enough alcohol because you don't want to run out. Maybe that's just that's for Eileen. The next thing is
But you will. Because there's nothing to do.
You will. You'll run out
of alcohol.
You have to be okay with quiet. So like play card games and talk to each other and fuck. Like that's what you do in the woods, right? And then the last thing is, even if it has a full kitchen, don't cook there. Heat things up. So what I discovered is you have you have to put things together, pre-prepare them, and all you're doing is heating them up at the cabin.
So like, what is something you would prepare?
Oh, like a casserole or like bring something that's really simple to make. Like if you like eggs in the morning, bring some eggs, you can scramble them, and then like maybe get some pastries from your favorite place, like your Bake Me Happy, hey, or like, you know, just from your favorite Columbus bakery or wherever you are.
Well, if you're going to Hocking Hills, you're in Columbus, so yes, Bake Me Happy or Pistache Rivera.
Pistache Rivera. Yes. Yeah. Get your stuff, bring it down, heat it up, but don't try to cook anything there because you can't possibly get used to someone else's oven the first night that you're there, right?
Right.
It was an electric range. It was a completely different oven. The oven filled the place with smoke. Like you can't know that those things are going to work the way you expect them to.
Right. That's actually a really good idea. Like chop up some veggies in advance, marinate some fish or chicken or whatever, and just like have it ready. Yeah. Because I just feel like it's like, oh my God, it's so much work. And I guess you're right. It sounds like you do Hocking Hills the right way.
Well, I try.
It sounds like you do. And it sounds like all the frugal Ohio lesbians can learn a lot. So
I appreciate that, girl. Let's talk about other personal anniversaries.
Girl, you know I love me a personal anniversary. So speaking of my cabinet hinge,
yes.
I absolutely love a Surviversary. So on my first year of Surviversary, which happened in September, after my accident, I woke up at 5 a.m. I made French press coffee and I drove to the beach and I just sat and watched the sunrise alone and just like had a minute. And it was such a bear. It was such a bitch to get there. Like, just because like parking was annoying and my card wouldn't work. And I was like, I'm gonna miss that. You know,
I thought you meant all the things you went through to get there. But yes.
Literally the journey to get there. So it was actually a good mirror image, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, you know, my life, I don't know. And I hope that's the biggest traumatic event of my life.
Oh, me too.
But
oh my God.
Right now, like I move kind of as like before and after that experience. Like, it was a very pivotal moment for me. It was a very powerful moment for me. It was very, you know, everything. So like, I really actually love the celebration of surviving. Do you know what I mean? And like, I think that's like, I will always do something for myself that day. And I think like personal anniversaries are so much, they're so much easier because you just know immediately what you need and want. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you can just take that quiet moment. And I know I won't be in the situation where I can drive and watch the sunrise over the ocean every time, but something for self. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it's very important. What did it feel like in the moment when you were, I don't want to say celebrating, but when you were
Honoring, I
observing.
guess.
Yeah, when you were
Yeah.
observing that moment for yourself. What did it feel like in your body?
I think it felt very warm, and it felt very, like, it just felt very comforting, because I think it was also a part of the beach I'd never been to, which I think is also important. So I was like, this is going to be that experience, right? It's not going to bleed into anything else, because I'm a big settings person. You know that. Like, I'm such a settings person,
Yeah, yeah.
It just felt very, there's this term opera singers use, and I'm not an opera singer anymore, and I don't claim to be. There's this term we use because sometimes when you're singing, you'll see this, singers who, are newer will sing and they like move their hands and stuff. You're like, what are you doing? And it's almost like their body's disconnected from their voice. But the really powerful singers just stand and like let the instrument flow through them. And when they have that connection to the body, sometimes it's called bodily quietude. And that's what I had. Like, I just had this weight, but it wasn't heavy. It was just like very stable. Maybe because I'll never get on a bike again. Maybe because I'll never go tandem parasailing. But I felt very like quiet in my body.
Yeah.
What a good question. Girl, tell me about how you celebrate your anniversaries. What is like a self anniversary you have?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you said that you went to the ocean too, because the ocean is very important to a couple friends of mine that I can think of. There's a lot of ocean stories. I need to get to the ocean. It's been so long. But yeah, I'm going to reflect a lot on that feeling that you just described, because it sounds very significant. But anyway, that was my reaction to that moment. Personal anniversaries. So I'm coming up on 11 years with my partner. The same year I started doing burlesque. So I'm coming up on my 11 years in burlesque. And it's like a flourish, bow with a flourish. 11 years on the stage and they can't get rid of me. And I don't have a way of celebrating that yet.
Yes, you do.
What, getting nude?
Gelman, one night only, is going to be performing in Miami.
Oh, okay. I do have that, and it's around the time I started, too. So you know what? That's going to be... I've never performed in Florida. I can't wait. I'm going to be at the Villain Theater on March 16th.
Commit to the bit. It's going to be March 16th now.
No, it's March 12th. It's March 12th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On Tonight with Tarek. So definitely go to Villain Theater on Instagram and Villain Stand Up and Tonight with Tarek and follow them. I'm so excited you're going to be on it. So I think that's an amazing way to celebrate your burlesque anniversary. And we will take you out in style in Miami.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. But I don't have like a specific way of celebrating it. I just keep getting nude on stage, and that feels, and I want that.
I think that's healthy.
And I think that's healthy. I think that's... So Carol Channing, I was watching this this interview with Carol Channing on Oprah in the 80s, and they brought on this drag impersonator while she's like trying to tell this story about how she's worked so hard in the industry to get where she is, and they bring on this drag performer from like down the street. So I shouldn't laugh, but it was really funny. And in the middle of the performer coming on stage, his name was Brian. It was like, oh, Brian. She was like, oh my goodness. And she turns to Oprah and she says, I think that's well and in good taste, don't you? It's like the most polite shade I've ever heard in my life. Because by that point, Carol Channing has like seen a lot of drag impersonations. But like back in the 80s during the AIDS crisis, she can't be like rude about this drag performer, or they're gonna be like, oh my god, Carol hates the gays now. You know what I mean? So she's trapped in this moment where she has to be like, I love this. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, it was
well and very good.
Yeah, icon. So there's that, and then also a lot of us trans girls who are on hormone replacement therapy celebrate Transiversary, which for me,
Ooh, girl.
yeah, so for me, I actually started transitioning in 2011, so I have a triple anniversary that year. 11 years burlesque partner and like understanding myself as trans.
Really came into yourself 11 years ago.
I did. It was a really interesting year, 2011. But I've been on hormone replacement therapy for 2018, 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's almost 4 years, right? Because it's 2022.
December 2018. So
we
just passed 3 years. Yeah.
Wow, girl, that's amazing. I it's gonna be. I know it's like not my journey, but I'm like, it feels like yesterday. Not like that, but I remember talking with you about it.
Yeah.
And just being like, yeah, you know.
When I looked back at some old pictures and like my face looks really different than it did 3 years ago. And
I mean, I don't see it because it's like I see you like all the time.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, right? Like if you knew me in high school and you like remember that and you look at me now, it's like I look very different. Right. But if you see me all the time, it's like, oh, there she is, you know.
There she is.
Yeah. And I want that.
I can't believe I haven't used this more on the screen. I'm not on the dish cam. No, I'm kidding. No, I love that. I'm so excited that you'll be at Villain. Villain is literally my favorite venue in.
You know what they said to me? So you connected me with them, and they said, "We're so excited to have you. Any friend of Brooke's is a friend of ours." I felt instantly welcomed. It was very, very sweet.
Well, that just warms my sweet little black heart. And something needs to warm me up because it's 58 degrees.
Oh, that sounds really hard.
It's just really hard. I'm just really going through it. I'm only in like a cropped sweater and my flip flops, so it's been really hard on me, Brooke. So,
when I come see you, I'm gonna pack all of the chiffon and gauze, and I'm just gonna float.
It's just gonna be gauze. You're just gonna strip, and it's just gonna be more gauze. Like there's no body. It's just gauze, and then there's a coat hanger.
Dissolve into a pile of gauze and organza.
She's also a magician. Okay, next we have run over because obviously it's been a minute. I am so excited we're back on this year. Dear viewers, please keep tuning in. We miss you. We love you. We can't wait to see you next week. And please follow us on YouTube. Follow us on our Instagram, like us on our Facebook page. Let us know what you want and what you need. We're here for you on the dish. Girl, take us home.
All right, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 7 for the next covered dish. The dish is back.